What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. It seems like it's Anthony Joshua Day, people, because he has a lot to say today, and he has just getting started. This is what he says about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Anthony Joshua has called Deontay Wilder a bitch and claims he is more of a man than the Bronze Bomber. Following the shock defeat of Andy Ruiz Jr. last year, Joshua was told by Wilder that he was not a true champion, okay, and that this whole career consisted of lies, contradictions, and gifts. Joshua reclaims his heavyweight titles by beating Ruiz in the rematch in December. Wilder, meanwhile, lost his WBC heavyweight title and suffered the first loss of his career as he was beaten by Tyson Fury in February. Asked if he was tempted to talk trash while Wilder, after his defeat to the Gypsy King in Las Vegas, Joshua told SI Boxing with Chris Mannix, oh yeah. He says, I went into my drawer and pulled out my long list of things to say. I got a lot of things to say about Deontay Wilder. He says, but you don't mock a man when he's down. Also, and that was at the top of the list. I have to stand by those principles, okay? But for sure, I think me and Wilder, as I say, are cut from a different cloth. He's what we call, well, it begins with a B and it ends with an H. I'm not like that. I'm more of a man. I don't really care on the internet talking crap. The only times you've seen me talking reckless against Dillian White or Jarrell Miller, other than that, I'm an ambassador of the sport. I'm trying to be a clean representing my sponsorships, present the zone properly. I think I try to stay away from that typical stereotype of a heavyweight boxer. It's difficult, but I have it in me to fire up and talk reckless when needed. Oh, wow. He said when asked if Wilder can win his third fight against Fury, Joshua replied, I never write off any heavyweight because they say all it takes is one punch. I think Wilder believes that himself. He said, you know, you've got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I've just got to be perfect for 1 second. He believed the hype. In my opinion, yeah, I think Fury will go in and win again. But as I said, it's so true. All you have to do is catch them with one shot and the tables can turn quickly. So good luck to both of them, and we'll see what happens when this is all done. Wow. Now, this is one of these situations where Anthony Joshua, obviously he's wrote down a lot of things to say, or he's came up with a lot of key points and factors that he could harp on when Wilder was defeated. Because of course now is, you know, it's April. Okay, they had that fight. That fight is almost 2 months out now. Okay, what's the date? It's the 17th. They fought on the 22nd. So in 5 days, that fight is 2 months old. I know it's similar. It's fresh somewhat, but if Anthony Joshua could talk smack, he would have did it by now, because Deontay Wilder did not waste any time. It was the 1st of June. By the 2nd and 3rd of June, this man was saying what he ain't a champion. His whole career was contradicting and lies. And, you know, and I look at this and I'm thinking, like, Wilder said he wasn't a true champion. This whole career consisted of lies and contradictions and gifts. You know, and I've always thought, and this is the first thing I thought about the moment I heard Deontay Wilder talking negative or talking shit about Anthony Joshua. I was thinking, well, when you were the WBC champion, you were in the same arena, you were at the venue, you had the closest seat probably than anyone as a commentator. And all this you were saying about Joshua, you never seemed to say it in this man's face. You know, even when the negotiation started, even when he started, hey, don't wait, make the date. And, you know, he started making those slogans and stuff like that. That was later on in the year. Okay, the Joseph Parker fight, the unification fight, the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF was on the line when Joshua fought Parker. Deontay Wilder, he was hired by Sky Sports to be there that night. He didn't want to be there because he wanted to go inside the ring. He wanted to step inside the ring and make his presence known, steal the thunder. But the problem is they were negotiating at the time, and he couldn't get in because Joshua was like, no, you're not getting in, and because you haven't signed the contract. Fair play. Vladimir Klitschko did get in the ring with Anthony Joshua, right? But Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko already signed a contract to fight each other. So they weren't going to do anything premature. Okay, so because of that, he missed the paycheck to go there. Now, if you think, if a guy said, because the rumor was that that Joshua's handlers said they were going to have extra security if he tried or something like that, right? Now, if that was the case, that would be more so for him to go. I would really want to go then if I'm Wilder, because then I can confront Anthony Joshua right there. You don't have to step into the ring. He could have stepped up the side. He could have stepped up and said, give me the mic. At least been there. I mean, he's done all type of other public outbursts. So, you know, bomb squad, right? That's, dude, you scare old ladies and give them a stroke with that type shit. Right? And, but after Joshua lost, you know, he had a lot of bad things to say about Joshua. You know what I mean? And then, and it's almost like the type of stuff you'd want to tell somebody to the face. Now, you know, Joshua said he could, you know, he put his toe in there a little bit, you know, because, you know, he regards him as a bitch because he, you know, and one of these things is he's calling him a bitch because you chose to kick a man when they're down. I don't do that type of shit. I'm showing you how a real champion reacts to another person's downfall. That's what I'm doing as a champion. That's what makes me an ambassador, a true ambassador of the sport. You know what I mean? But then again, it makes more sense for Joshua because Joshua has way much more on the line than Deontay Wilder. Okay? The dude has 12 promotions. I don't even know another athlete that has that many, honestly. That might be a record breaker. You know, Hummer and Beats by Dre and, you know what I mean? All these type of promotions, you know, you can just Hugo Boss, you know, to name a few. But, you know, he was just saying, we're cut from a different cloth. We are not the same people. You know, we're not the same people, you know, and the way he runs things and the way he talks reckless, we call that a bitch, you know, and those are some harsh words. And honestly, this is probably more harsh than calling Lennox Lewis a clown, because that's really the worst that he actually said to someone up until that time, until now. You know what I mean? So he calls Deontay Wilder a bitch, you know, and obviously at this point, I see what's going on. It's a good tactic to put your name out there because we all know what we want to see. We all know the fights that's in front of us. We have Joshua Pulev. We have Fury, Wilder, 3. Okay? Do we want to see any of those fights? Not really. But those fights will still happen. Right? But this is just another seed planted. Being an ambassador of the sport, he knows. Anthony Joshua, he'll get the Tyson Fury fight if Fury beats him. But if Anthony Joshua, if he doesn't beat him, the question is, will Deontay Wilder fight Anthony Joshua? That's the question. You know what I mean? Will he fight Anthony Joshua in that point? You know, but I'm thinking Anthony Joshua, what he's doing at this point, he's really telling it the way it is. But, you know, there's a silver lining in calling Deontay Wilder a bitch, because all the shit that he said for the last 2 years, while, you know, none of these guys were face to face, right? Shit, and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather never saw each other until a Miami game, right? So, you know, these guys have met before, right? So I know he's planting a seed for a possible fight. That's if Deontay Wilder wins. But, you know, it was tactless, and it was very poor sportsmanship, you know, for Wilder to do what he did. So, you know, to hear Anthony Joshua counterpunch him a little bit was pretty much icing on the cake, you know, because, yeah, he could have did a lot more, but he just showed you, yeah, I could talk shit about Wilder, but I'm not that type of person, okay? So, but, you know, because he's talked shit about me, that's what makes him a bitch. So, in other words, to put all this in a nutshell, he didn't talk much shit, but what he called him, because he talked shit, a bitch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua labeling Deontay Wilder a bitch. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.